What I'm up to at the moment is I've got a new book that's published today, I've got a series that starts on Tuesday, and I've got a tour that starts in a month.
Right, okay.
So I'm telling people about the first two and hurriedly writing the third.
Right, so when do you sleep?
I don't at the moment. I was building the PowerPoint for the thing I did earlier at this event at 1:30 in the morning, and then I was here at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's a bit like that at the moment, but I'm not complaining. That's a very happy place to be, you know, it's all good.
It's just like all these ideas that you come up with, and do you ever try to top the next one, or is it just you just do what you do because it's just fun?
You just live and find out what's next and go around corners. If you sit there going, today I'm going to have an idea, then you won't have one. And I've never made shows about things that I thought I'm going to make a show about that. Most of the time I'm making shows or talking about stuff that has happened to me already, and it's with hindsight you go, I think I can make that work for an audience, and you do it, rather than as you're doing it thinking, how will this play out? Like, if you stop and think like that, you won't do anything, you'll second guess yourself out of living. So I just try and live and enjoy myself, and every now and then I stop and go, what's happened in the last few months that I think would make people know? Yeah, that, and then I go back and talk about it.
When you sort of sit down and it's like reading the internet, just things that just strike you, inspired, like, like the fact thing is like, that's bullshit, that's not a fact.
It's yeah, I think there's an analogy I use in the book. When I was a kid, there were 3 TV channels. When I was young, in our house, they were all in black and white. I was 6 or 7 when we got our first colour TV. Obviously, the internet didn't exist in any meaningful sense. So the amount of information that was being thrown at me when I was a child, even when I was 18, is nothing compared to what's coming at us today, with sort of always on broadband in your phone and a little computer and hundreds of TV channels and advertising everywhere, whatever. And I think you take less of it in. The analogy I use in the book is, if someone threw 3 tennis balls at you, 1, you'd be able to go, that was 3 tennis balls. 2, you'd probably be able to catch at least 1 and possibly 2 of them. But you'd know, you'd take in what had just happened. If someone threw 300 tennis balls at you, you wouldn't catch any of them. You wouldn't be able to say how many it was. You wouldn't take in all the information. And I think that's where we are with the kind of information overload that's coming our way. And both the show and the book are me sort of saying, actually, stop and pay attention to it and watch them all go by, and you'll notice how many of them are nonsense, how much of it is rubbish, how much, and actually, that it sort of disarms you. You don't feel so much like, bloody hell, 300 tennis balls. You just look at that, how much nonsense. Look at that one, shit. And you sort of deal with them differently. And I kind of weirdly enjoy that. I think I spend as much time online looking at things I hate as I do looking at things I love.
I think that's what
and I secretly love the things I hate because they amuse me so much rather than angering me. So I sort of tap into that a little bit for the shows.
I definitely think with open threads and comments and stuff, it's the easiest place now just to bitch and moan about and criticise.
And I think the thing with I do fan poetry where I take those comments that people leave on things and turn them into something, is I think part of why that works is actually we all recognise that a part of that behaviour is in us. That you might think it's ridiculous that someone's got so irate about a coin, but there probably is a topic that you think that's irate about online.
Yes,
you know, and it's just a different topic. It might be a band or something that you feel.
A bit of Marvel DC cast.
Yeah, and something is in us all that online we behave like that, and I don't think it's just laughing at the idiots who write that thing. I think a large part of it is just going, oh God, I'm sometimes that idiot. I'm like that. I think that's partly why they work, and I know that I'm prone to it myself. I've got to step away from the internet at times.
Brilliant. Thank you for your time.
No worries. Hiya, I know this is like Steve's phone, but it's Dave Gorman here, and he's asked me to give you a ring and say hi. How are you? That's a very rude thing to say about Steve. He seems all right to me. Sorry, no. Yeah. He'll know. Don't worry about it. How are you, Emma? Good. No, nor do I. I mean, there isn't a script for this sort of thing. He's just sitting next to me and said, what do you call this girl? So I have done. I think, I don't know if you've ever, I don't know what you and him are like. I think he's got a bit of a thing for you. and he's hoping that if I call you, that might influence things one way or another. Okay. I'm going to leave the rest of that negotiation to you and him. And I don't think you should put too much import in his ability to get me to do this. But you know, I'll leave the rest to you. All right, no worries. Nice being Gemma. Cheers. Okay, bye.
Thanks for that.
That's all right. I hope I haven't